We will see England fall to Dave. Again, that's going to be the Blackbeards picking up a kill here. 3 on 5, 35 seconds left to go. Laxing has committed to now challenging this shots. Looks like Trippin will fall, so will Moss. But Trippin was able to tag down Chapstick first.
Let's just all challenge him one by one and get taken out. Oh, good
Back
job by
forth.
Laxing.
Now a 2 to look for some shots, but misses his target with that SMG-11. Moss trying to swing on around. Looks like a double drop shot as Laxing swings over, gets a double kill. Dave's going to be outside kitchen window. Chapstick going to go and challenge this, and he will get detected. However, the shot comes in, nade from above, looking for the kill there on the Laxing.
Oh.
Laxing gets a double kill, and he's going to get the quad! Laxing with the quad kill! Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, and he has plenty of time. He's going to secure this first round of overtime.
He's going to have to be very cautious now.
We've seen a couple instances of those late roams actually not being as successful as they should be. Laxing with an aggressive push is going to take out Panari and Bunsi. What a great
Double
push by
kill
him.
there. Shuttle, though, also getting one. Laxing getting a triple kill.
Oh!
He gets the 4
4K there, and Elevate's going to secure round number 3. What a flank, and just a tremendous feat here for Laxing.
He had the back to get rid
Oh,
of.
and he jumps off at the wrong time.
Oh,
England
bad
looking like
timing.
he might push in. Sky's going to call out the drone spot, and it looks as though a shield destructed there by Laxing, but he will come out on top of that engagement, taking out Eclipse. 4 on 4 still, 45 seconds left to go. Wall has been opened up there, I want to say by a breaching charge or an Ash charge, but there's another kill by Laxing, finishing off the Bandit, or finishing off Avian, the Mira.
So the first couple big mistakes coming out for VG, but also just some good play from Elevate's going to put them now in a great position to win this round.
We said mistakes, but still, King George is going to get this flank. That might be the saving grace, because that's Diffuser down instead of Meeting All. There's 25 seconds left to go. Bosco's going to rotate on over, as King George / Young are still the 3 alive against Laxing, Bosco, and England now. Bosco going to pick up that diffuser, move on into the box, coming in from the B side, and he's going to try to get this plant down. But the heartbeat sensor from Slash spots it on out, and plant is going down as Young tries to gas him, and it looks as though it's not going to kill him, so he's going to get that plant down in time, and the SMG-11 comes on swinging out. Another shotgun kill from Young. Could he get another 3K going up against Laxing here inside a box? Laxing's going to have a pinch here as we've got King George coming around from behind. Young's going to be inside looking around, and they are going to pinch him. So it does not look like it's going to go in his favor, but he does tag one onto Young. Now it's going to be a one-on-one. Laxing's now tucked himself back inside of the construction, and you've got a 1 still on 1 with about 30 seconds to go. Laxing holding onto this angle. He'll come out on top, and he will get that clutch down. That's going to be Elevate's win here on round number 3.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Shay. I'm one of the admins for the Rainbow Six Siege group, and I am with Laxing from CLG, formerly of Elevate. And you have won 2 titles so far, 2 championships so far.
Yep.
Working on number 3. So I have to ask first, and this is kind of how I start all of them. How the hell did you get the name Laxing? I have an idea in my head, but I feel like it's totally wrong.
Well, let me hear your idea, and then I'll tell you.
Oh, it's so bad. So the nurse in me makes me think it's like laxatives, and so you make the team shit whenever they see you. I don't know.
So you're kind of right, and
Am
that's
I?
my name's sort of like a trilogy. So you got
there's a
Laxing
third
for
part.
lacrosse. That's what I played in high school, so short for lacrosse.
Okay.
Laxing for laxative because I'm shitting on kids.
Oh, shitty. So it was the opposite.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then laxing because I'm pretty chill. I'm relaxed, so goes hand in hand.
I feel like you should do it where it's not you the one who has to be shitting. You should be making them do the shitting, because I feel like it's very embarrassing.
I guess I could go both ways. I'm shitting on them. They're shitting themselves.
It's a very embarrassing way to go about things, making shit exactly when people are around you. Awkward. So I know that you just you were at the qualifyings for Pro League, right? And did not make it this round. So do you go
so
for the next one?
unfortunately- So
How does that all
basically
work?
what happened was, so I've been in Pro League ever since the game came out, and then as until recently we lost, we got put in relegations, and then we lost a relegation match. So what happens from relegations is basically there's 2 pro teams that are 7th and 8th seed. They get put into relegation, so then the Challenger League, which is considered like semi-pro or whatever, have their chance. The 2 top teams from there have their chance to play the bottom teams for Pro League. So basically we lost our relegation match, so therefore we got kind of booted out of Pro League, and now we're in Challenger League, which is unfortunate, but stuff happens.
I
But
feel like that's
there's
crap,
some-
though. Like,
Yeah,
considering
mainly
you've
due
been
to
in
the
it from the
fact-
beginning.
Yeah, I know. It's mainly due to the fact that ESL and Ubisoft haven't really changed a lot of their rules when it comes to because how the Pro League is right now, which they're now, so it sucks because every season was like 2.5 months or whatever, and that's just a season. And now they're making one season last 6 months just as we get kicked out. So basically how it was back then is if you played 2 matches and you lost both those matches, you were out of Pro League. That's what it was like. So it's a
Yeah.
pretty shit situation, but it is what it is. There's stuff in the back that could potentially happen, so stuff will be announced here in like 1 to 2 weeks what's going on with me personally, and then
Because you guys were just fun
look
to
forward to
watch. Like, as Elevate,
Yeah.
like, because I'm an Xbox player originally. I moved to PC. So I watched you guys on Xbox, and then when you guys moved over from Xbox to PC, when they ended the console Pro League, and you guys moved over, and then won. That was the year that you guys, or the season that you guys won, wasn't it?
Well, we
Or was
didn't
it-
win, but it was our first. Are you talking about when we first joined PC?
Yeah.
So when we first joined PC, that was actually our first season, obviously on PC, that we made Pro League, and then after that, all of North America kind of like shit the bed, and we all got first rounded. So North America was out of the finals the first day.
Go figure.
So it was good though, because like I said, you know, we were on Xbox for as long as we were, and then with only 2 weeks of like getting used to mouse and keyboard, we managed to achieve Pro League, and then on top of it, making a LAN our first time being on PC. So it was a good experience. And then the season after that, we took second place at Gamescom, and then it's just been downhill from there. So
I feel like I
Great stop.
2 weeks I would not have been able to. I feel like I've been playing mouse and keyboard for about 4 or 5 months now, maybe a little bit longer, and I still am like,
yeah, I think.
love my
I mean,
controller.
if it would have been a different game, like we all agree, if it would have been like, you know, if we had to switch to like CS:GO, for example, Rainbow would have been a like complete, like any other game would have been a different story. But like Rainbow, it's still the same game, it's still the same operators. The hardest thing for me personally when I came over switching was learning like the tighter angles, because on PC you definitely can hold
oh yeah,
the nerdiest angle that you couldn't hold on Xbox. You could hold it, but there's like a 1% chance you're gonna have the reaction time to hit that shot in
Right.
time. So that was the hardest thing. Other than that, it was still the same game, so it worked out.
I would not have been able to switch over. Although I'm definitely not any Pro League level by any means.
You'll get there. You can keep putting time into it.
I'm just not competitive enough. Like, out of the whole team, who do you think's the most competitive? I mean, you all
As of
are.
yeah, I mean, I think we all, at the end of the day, are extremely competitive. That's why we're, you know, playing pro and doing all that stuff. I would say the most competitive, it's hard to say, because like I want to say me, but like I don't want to like say that I'm more competitive than others. I would just say
Right.
we're all competitive.
You're tagging out and
We
saying
all
I'll
want the
kinda-
same goal. We all want to win. So yeah.
Well, who is the humble player and beast? So D Marin, I'm gonna mess these names up, and I apologize ahead of time. Said Laxing, humble player, and beast at Siege. So I think that one of the coolest things about Elevate is that you guys had a good cohesiveness. Like you and Skies, especially, like the dynamic duo. You guys have this like
Yeah.
weird thing with
Yeah, it was
each
kinda-
other.
Yeah, no, it was our play styles. They weren't similar, but like playing off one another was very, very much intact. Like we didn't really have to voice to each other what we were doing. We kind of just knew exactly like where we were setting up, where we were posting up, and then from there kind of just played off each other. So that's something that I've never had with anyone in playing esports in general. Because I came from Halo originally, but I've never had the chemistry that I've had with someone with Skies. So that
Right.
chemistry definitely helped us be successful in the long run.
How long have you guys been playing together?
The third season on Xbox. So it was the season before Invitationals. So it was 2 seasons before they closed Pro League. So since that time, so about, let's say 2
years now? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's probably about 2 years.
about right.
That's a long time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast time flies.
But you guys also have these like crazy. I think because I know like when we play, which is obviously totally different level again, but you have the strats that you know, and then sometimes that shit just falls apart, and you guys have to rely on gun skills, and you guys just have that sick gun skills.
And I think that's what our biggest downfall has been since the recent meta changes and operators being involved. Is, you know, everyone knows that we were a team that like we could outfrag, and that's how we won a lot of our matches in the past, is that we just straight up took gunfights, and that we were very confident in our gunfights. And then it came down to the new metas that kind of like almost just put our playstyle on hold. Like, because, you know, you're running into Ellas, you're running into Blackbeard, you're running into a whole bunch of stuff, Lion and stuff like that. So we really couldn't take the gunfights that we wanted, and so we had to adapt. And I don't want to blame the meta because everyone has to verse the meta, but I mean, it's just for the future, for the sake of Rainbow and esports, I would like to see a lot less global abilities.
Yeah.
And to just kind of like have more of a balanced structure around the Pro League. So, yeah.
Lion's kind of he was sort of a game changer. Like, I thought Mira was going to be a big game changer, and she was, by all means, because she manipulates the map really well, but I felt like Lion just took the whole thing and blew it up.
And that's the point that I'm trying to make is, like, you know, you looked in the beginning, like, vanilla of Siege is every operator, you know, it was unique, you know. Not you're playing off every operator in the game, and every operator contributed, and now with kind of how the meta's gone, it's kind of you're basing one operator off the rest of your selection to play around one operator. So it kind of sucks that that's where the meta has turned into. It's not so much, all right, we need this, we need that, we need that. It's like, all right, we're playing this, and then we're going to revolve everything around this operator. So,
what do you think about the new ones that are coming out?
So
I've only seen the thing for Alibi. I haven't seen anything else on it.
I mean,
the map looks sick.
The map is definitely sick. I think it's going to be big for competitive, for the competitive side of it. But for the new operators, I mean, you only can wait and see what's going to happen to see. For me, I always look at how the pros are going to use it. I don't really pay attention to so much like the community using it. So that's really going to determine whether or not, for me, that those operators are going to either be broken or balance the game or just flat out not really useful. Because, you know, there's operators that are not very useful. You know, you look at Caveira. She's seen some light in Pro League as of recently, but in the past, like, that was just an operator no one cared to touch. It just didn't bring much to the table. So.
Well, it's so situational, and she's extremely just like Tachanka. We were talking about that last interview. Tachanka's a very situational player. Caveira is really situational, and she's it's high risk, somewhat high reward. Not really even high reward because you know where they are for a time being, but it could be high, it could not. It's so much risk.
The chances of you actually getting that off in a Pro League match, of actually interrogating someone, should 100% be 0 to me. There's no way you're letting your teammate or you're letting whatever happen to get interrogated. It just shouldn't happen. You should always be in a position to, like, refrag one of your teammates regardless of the situation. But an interrogation should never happen in Pro League, and I don't think it has happened yet. I think it's just for the fast downs and the quick kill. I always have this question too. So my enemy, and whenever I see it on the opposing team, I know I'm fucked, is Blackbeard. If there's a Blackbeard on the other team, that guy's going to kill me. He could be the worst player in the fucking game. He's going to kill me every single round. And then Caveira, I'm going to get interrogated. Like, 9 times out of 10. The only time that I know that I'm fucked by Caveira is when it's, like, arm length distance. That's when I just know, like, I'm fucked. Like, that's it. Because if you don't hit those shots, that pistol's just so strong, especially when she uses her ability. It can pretty much just one-shot you.
Oh, yeah.
That's my only times I know that and that's just, like, in ranked or casual or whatever. Like,
right.
I just know that
in Pro League, what's your, like, oh fuck operator? Like, I'm screwed operator. Is there one?
As of recently,
or a Pro League player like Canadian on Glass, that would be like an oh fuck moment for me.
What I hate the most, because I roam, is I hate Jackal and I hate Lion. Those are, like, my biggest, like, enemies, is those two. So I would say those are probably my, like, least favorite to go up against, just because they always have an idea of well, not always, but Jackal pretty much always has an idea where you are. So I would say those two operators are, like, my least favorites, and that I always think that I'm fucked.
Do you play, like, the roaming Slayer all the time, or would you prefer?
Yeah, so some map, no, I do prefer roaming, but I can play defense. Like, even before I started my career, when I was on my come up, like, I was switching off a lot of defense and a lot of offense on defense. So I pretty much can play anything, but I think my play style, I think it works well with roaming, because I'm kind of the lurker, you could say that. So
creeping in the corners.
Yeah, exactly. I play really stupid spots that just somehow play in my favor, so I'm not complaining.
Some of that stuff I see, and I'm just like, if I tried that, there's no fucking way.
It's a lot of risk. Like the spots that I put myself in sometimes, like I just feel like I should be dead 100% of the time. But so many people overlook some spots because it's just so random that you wouldn't think someone would be there, that it ends up either working in your favor or it doesn't. So it's like 50-50.
So I've seen also in Pro League that you have gotten in quite a few of 1v4, 1v3 situations, and you have been able to clutch the shit out of that. And I don't understand. Do your palms sweat? Like my heart would start racing whenever that happens to me. And then you're on like the big stage, you know?
Right.
How?
So when all that's going on, it really comes down to like a mentality of not, and everyone will overcome that mentality as like you start playing more and more, and you know your gaming career, that you won't have as much, like you won't be as tense as you would if you were just like fresh and new into it. But yeah, it's keeping a level head, and you know at the same time you're also trying to put yourself always in the best positions. You're kind of always guessing, trying to give yourself the best guess of where they're going to challenge from or push from, and you kind of always want to, you know, put yourself in situations where you're always taking 1v1s and not trying to like put your back to other people. So it's like a lot of that, and then a lot of like 360 awareness. So for example, like if I'm posted up somewhere, I know to my right there's a window that he could maybe see me from a crack if he did go there. So I try to limit as many areas to be shot from, to just like engage in a constant 1v1 until the end of the round.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
if
I mean,
it works out.
that's a good way to
That's kinda
explain that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way I can explain it. Just keep a level head and try to put yourself in a spot that you're always taking 1v1s and that you aren't going to get angled from, or you're going to be taking a 2v1. Like, you just want to cut off as many areas as possible and put yourself always in front of that one other person.
I always just stop breathing. Like, I hold my breath until it's done with. Like, I got 45 seconds. I'll survive this. So I have a couple of videos of your clutches, so I'm going to play those now.
Okay.
Oh! Oh!
Last one's bandit. You should be on the other side.
Wanna see how it feels?
It's Legion, you fucking liar. You have 9 bullets, no. What's up?
That is crazy, bro.
We have a camo and diffuser. Here we do. He's running out.
Op 4 neutralized. Destroy it.
You can defuse. There's another one. Behind him.
Two of them.
No! Oh!
Oh, Utah is bad. You located a bomb.
Oh my god. What is it? Oh, whoa!
What?
One tap.
Op 4 left.
Oh my god! What the fuck was that?
Where would I see this?
It should be at the very top of the page. Like of the siege group. Do you see it anywhere?
Is there like
Here.
a live thing? Like if I click
Yeah.
videos or something?
Let me see. Hang on. I might be able to at you.
Oh, I think here it is. I found it.
Maybe I can't.
Oh, wait.
see.
And it's live right now, you said, right?
Yeah. You should see your face.
Yeah, I see my face, and then it says who's ready for the next interview. Only 3 hours to go, and that's all I have right now.
I wonder if I can. Hang on. Here, I'm just gonna copy the link and send it in Discord. That'd be the easiest way to go about this.
Sounds good. I figured that would just be easy if I went on the Facebook page, but
You would think it's supposed to. I'm wondering.
oh well.
Let me see
Shoot
if
over
it's.
the link.
I just sent it over to you. So. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's not what I want.
Alright.
There we go. So yeah, and also anybody watching, if you want to ask Laxing some questions, feel free. So I have the link pulled up live here. So for whatever reason, the last time we did this interview, we could not get it to AK Dope Girl. Jaeger main. Are you a Jaeger main?
Me?
Yeah. Do you main anybody?
I play, so in Pro League I play a flex role, so it's basically whatever is needed at the time, I'll play.
Okay.
So it's not, it's nothing set to where like, alright, like some people will see me on Bandit a lot, or Blackbeard, or I just switch off a lot, so there's nothing that I'm like strictly set to, and part of me doesn't like it, but at the same time I do like it because it just shows the versatility that I am capable of.
Right.
And all in all, I think it is good for people to, and this is for up and coming people, because I'm not going to tell pros what to do. Pros are going to do whatever they want to do. For up and coming people, I definitely recommend, if you're trying to, you know, get into the scene or something, is, you know, try to be as versatile as you can. Don't always, like, I see a lot of people post like, oh, I'm a Ash Jaeger main. Oh, I just play only these operators, because you're limiting yourself. You're selling yourself short when
Right.
a lot of the ops that people are saying that they play is already taken, and a lot of people already play. So if you can just say, you know, you play all these ops, you're most likely going to get looked at over, you know, if you're just saying you're playing these 1 and 2 ops. Hit me up if you are interested. So it's the best advice I can give right there for that.
Now we get a lot of questions about, as far as operators go, who's the best, like, I just bought the game, who's the best one to buy first, or what would you think as beginners?
Right. So what I would say as a beginner, definitely don't go buying Ash or Jaeger first, because those are just going to get picked constantly, and then you're going to be left with Recruit. So I'd go with like Sledge, Thatcher, or if you are like you really want to dive into the game, I'll definitely get like the full version, so that way you already have all the operators unlocked, so you aren't
Right.
you know, having to buy them. But if you are buying some, then I would definitely recommend like Sledge or IQ, you know, any of those. Don't pick the main ones like Ash and Jaeger. Those 100% will be out like before you can even load in sometimes, so it's not even worth the struggle. So I'll just kind of base everything off the Ash and Jaeger. Don't pick around, and kind of just, you know, freely read the description, what they do, see if you're interested, and then just kind of go from there. Look at the guns and kind of just choose from there, because everything's going to come down to personal preference at the end, whether you really like Sledge or you really like IQ. But just
I think some
personal
of
preference,
the,
and then you can work your way in.
I think some of the, I call them fat boys, some of the fat boys, like Doc, I think his gun recoil is just easier to control, and he can take a lot. So, and he's not somebody who, his ability, you need to manipulate really hardcore in order to understand him completely. So I think he's really good for beginners and, you know, stuff like that. I think that's, but there's also a lot of people save those juices for themselves and get really selfish with it. So.
I'm one of those people in ranked where I can tell you right.
Toxic.
Well, I don't really play Doc that much, but when I am playing ranked, I don't use my reinforcements. Whenever I lay down armor, I always break the armor, and then I don't know. I fuck around in ranked a lot. I don't really take it that serious. But to everyone out there, I will tell you right now, always don't complain about playing against pros in ranked. Trust me, it's not worth it. You're better off just trying, doing your best, because sometimes you get noticed by it. You won't get noticed every single time, but I think you should take every opportunity you can to play against a pro and not bitch and complain like a lot of people do.
Do you think that the 10-mans, do you play any of those 10-mans?
I play them here and there. It's just like a more advanced version of ranked. So to me, it's like, because when you play pro, you already have this mindset built in of how like games are played around, how like the play style is, and then you play anything but that, and it's just like it's all kind of just the same stuff. People jumping out of windows, doing stupid plays. So I try not to play it as much as I can, just to like not like have a mindset, because how I play, what usually like fucks me over a lot of the time in my gunfights is I give people a lot of benefit of the doubt. Like they're gonna do the smarter play that I'm predicting, and then they
Right.
just like do the exact opposite and just come out. The biggest thing you'll see in like ranked or shit like that is people wide peek the fuck out of you. So like I'm like holding a tight angle on a doorway, and this guy knows I have him pinned, and like I'm just thinking he's gonna like jiggle peek it, and this dude comes out fucking swinging and just grabs me. It just completely catches me off.
Sometimes doing what is not expected is what's gonna.
Oh yeah, no. Sometimes it definitely works for sure. I can't. You know, I'm a hypocrite. Sometimes I will do the least expected stuff, and probably, but for the most part, I'm trying to be as like professional in my gameplay as I possibly can.
So, do you play with your team a lot in your free time, or is that just something that?
It's here and there. It's not even so much Siege. I think it's a lot of other games. Like sometimes we'll play H1, sometimes it'll be PUBG, sometimes we're all playing by ourselves. For me, I've always played a lot by myself. I've just always preferred it. I think personally, and what I'd recommend for some people is obviously play as a team, but obviously if your team isn't playing, I would tell you to solo queue. I always, for the most part, I always solo queue.
Oh my god.
I think solo queuing helps you individually as a player, because when I go into ranked matches, I never rely on my teammates.
Right.
I always 100% rely on myself, and having that mindset also helps you become a better player, because you will be able to handle situations by yourself.
That makes
You'll
sense.
know that you're confident in yourself, and that you know that you'll be able to clutch situations in some senses. You won't clutch every time. I'm not saying it's gonna completely increase your skill gap, but I think it does help to get an understanding of being able to rely on yourself and win your gunfights. Just be a better individual, and then in the future be a better teammate.
I always feel like when I solo queue, I'm like gift wrapping my elo and giving it to you. Here you go.
I know it's solo queue. I've been solo queuing. That's why I think my win-loss ratio is like a 4.1, and then my KD is still like a 2.0.
I think though, if you solo queue in a diamond tier, totally different. But you're playing with true tryhards who like.
Oh, kids are. I can tell you right now, like. So as of recently, I've stopped streaming with the face cam on me. I kind of put it to my back, because when I watch some of my streams, because I shit you not, some of these kids are sweating so fucking hard, and like my face expression is so. It's just in general, like my face expression is so blank. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't like the cam on me at all times, because I literally have like, I'll hit a nutty shot or something like that, and I literally have the blankest face expression. I can tell the other kid on the other end is like lifting up his keyboard and just wiping his forehead. Yeah, exactly.
I have some actually really funny. So you have mentioned quite a few times that you are the one tap king. They watch you for your one taps, apparently. You do hit some pretty fucking crazy shits with the deagle and shit. Like it's insane to me.
There's a few clips that I have, like, I'm not saying that what I will say like about my like playstyle and my shot is, from a long range, I will like nail you. I will 100% drill you. I don't want to say that I'm the one-shot king or anything like that, because that would just be a lie. But I will 100%. long range engagements are like my go-to. Like I will 100. I feel that I'll 9 out of 10 times win those encounters.
Well, I have a short clip of that because I just thought these were sort of funny, and this is hilarious.
They know me for my one taps. Oh boy, that was dirty.
They know me for my one taps. I literally tap right there just to pre-fire, and I hit him in the head. Yeah, that smoke clip is nuts.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I just watched it.
Oops, there we go.
Fucking schmeeded.
I just don't like when Vigil's gun, especially. I think that one clip is on the TTS, and his shoddy on TTS was fucking stupid. Like I feel like they changed it. Oh, it's still beast as hell, but they changed it a little bit. Tom Croft says that SMG one was nasty.
Yeah, I flicked pretty
How do you
hard
spawn
right there.
peek?
I
Yeah,
was
with
actually surprised
fucking.
I got that, to be honest.
How do you spawn peek with an SMG? Everybody laughs at me because I spawn peek with like a hollow sight
Well,
or.
All I can say is everyone has to enjoy that SMG 11 before the next, I think, update comes out, because that thing is getting nerfed to shit.
Is
Like,
it?
it's gonna be bad.
No.
It's gonna be bad. Yeah,
Oh.
the recoil on it's gonna be terrible.
It's art. Well, who am I thinking of? The recoil on
might be thinking of
Habanas. Yeah.
Bearing. Yeah, the bearing's pretty bad, but yeah, the SMG 11 is about to get just trashed, and same with all the SMGs are gonna be terrible.
Ugh.
It's gonna be back to the FMG9 with smoke instead of the shotgun.
Well, whenever I play Smoke, I play Shoddy and his SMG, so now I'm gonna have to figure out how to.
Yeah, it was weird because when we all switched over from Xbox, every smoke on Xbox was using the FMG9 and the SMG11. Then we switched over to PC, and like every smoke was using a shotgun and SMG11, and then we just kind of evolved into it. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, the shotgun's actually pretty good.
So, being a former console player, there has been a ton of debate on our page about mouse and keyboard on Xbox. What is your opinion?
Yeah, so my opinion on that is, I'm gonna be brutally honest here, is if you're using mouse and keyboard on Xbox, you're a piece of shit. Like,
Thank you.
That's just what it is. Like, you're taking. There were teams, like when we played GBs a lot, there was a French Canadian team that they used mouse and keyboard. They were known for using mouse and keyboard, and we were still shitting on them. But it's like, there's literally no point in using a mouse and keyboard on a console, because you should 100% not die. If you die, you are literally dog shit.
Right.
Compared to an analog stick and a mouse, an analog stick's always going to take more skill, 100%. And I will say that coming from console. That is the one thing I can take from console, and saying that aiming on console, especially in Siege, since there's no aim assist, is 100% more skill compared to PC with a mouse. So, all in all, if you're using a mouse and keyboard on Xbox, you're a piece of shit, plain and simple.
Thank you. I completely 110% agree. And there's been a ton of people who have been caught playing mouse and keyboard or said that they're getting the Zim and all this other stuff, and it pisses me off, because I mean, it's essentially cheating. That's hacks on Xbox, pretty much. Like, I mean, you are a piece of shit. Well said. Thank you. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Do you miss console at all?
No.
Really?
No, not one bit. The only thing I miss console for, and this is completely off topic to do with Siege, but the only thing I actually miss console for is Halo and Gears of War.
Halo's so
That's
much
it.
fun though. I never played Gears of War.
the thing that you never played Halo?
I played Halo, hardcore. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No,
Not Gears of War. I never
no,
played
it's-
Gears of War.
it's like-
I loved Halo.
But no. And what I want to tell everyone, like, I'm not hating on console. I came from console. I played console my entire life. I have nothing against console, but I will tell you, especially Siege related, if you play Siege on PC, you will 100% just fall in love with it. It is smoother. Like Rainbow was 100% designed for PC. Like switching over to it, and I don't think I would ever go back. But I would definitely, like, especially if you want to get into esports scene. Like I said, I have nothing against console, but if you want to get into esports in general, I would recommend saving up $1,000 and getting a PC, because that's where a lot of the esports scene is going recently, and I think will continue to go.
Yeah.
Is in the side of the PC. It's easier. There's just a lot of stuff that goes into PC that obviously a console doesn't have, and probably won't have, at least not anytime soon. So, in that general statement that I make, and if you really want to get into esports, I'd definitely recommend getting a PC.
When I made the move over, all my Xbox friends were like, "How dare you leave us?" And I've slowly been converting them one at a time. I've been converting them to PC, and most of them, like, we've gotten kind of sick of Siege on Xbox. So when I switched over, I was like, well, should I buy it on PC? Shouldn't I? And then I was like, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I went ahead and did it, and it is a totally different game. Like, it really...
It's completely different.
Yeah, it made me fall in love with the game again. And then I tried to switch back to Xbox.
Oh, it's so hard.
Oh my god.
So hard. I've played at my friend's house. I'm just like, how the fuck do you still play on this?
Right.
Like, you're playing on like different, FOVs, you're playing on different resolutions, aspect ratios that you will never have on console. And then especially the refresh rate. The refresh rate is a huge thing.
Yeah.
You know, you go from a 60 hertz monitor and then you're playing on 144 or 200 plus hertz monitor. It's just a big difference, and it's just a better experience.
I think the aspect ratio messes me up because I play on a 3.2. So
I play 4.3.
Okay, yeah. So it sort of stretches it a bit, but
I like it stretched.
I do too. I feel like it makes all of their heads look bigger.
Yeah.
And then I go to
there's a big
Xbox
debate.
and it's not the same.
Yeah, it's just yeah, it's gross. Yeah, there's a big debate about aspect ratios and like what's better, what's this and that, and every pro will tell you that the aspect ratio, the resolution, it's all personal preference. There isn't one that's superior than the other. So I just want to close that debate just in case there is anyone in this community that's like, what aspect ratio is better? This pro says this is better. This pro says that's better. It's all personal preference, and every
Right.
pro 100% will tell you that it's personal preference.
We get a lot of the what sensitivity should I play on, and what mouse should I use, and like I think again it's all personal preference. Like some people like 75 buttons on their mouse, and some people like me, I only like two. Put 2 on there, that's all I need. Like
No.
some people really like a fast sensitivity. Some people are like wrist players, other ones are arm players, so it like really just depends on your play style. So I don't think any one person can tell you how to play the game, unfortunately. So
yeah, I would say the mouse is probably the most important thing that you should probably get an FPS mouse. Like, don't get like a mouse that has 16 buttons on it. Most likely you aren't going to have to use 16 buttons. It's not like an MMO game. And then the keyboard, I don't know if I can talk about my sponsor here or anything like that.
Yeah, totally. There's no.
But, I mean, Corsair has extremely sick mouses. They have by far the best keyboards in the industry of gaming, by far. Like, there's no other keyboards that compare to Corsair. And then personally, I've used Astros a lot, but I've tried out these Void headsets, and I don't know, personally, the stuff that you can go into depth with when you download their launcher, there's just so much stuff that you can add that you can't add in the Astro main menu that, I don't know, personally, I've fallen in love with the Void Pros, and I would just recommend getting Corsair stuff in general.
Would you say that stuff makes a huge difference in your gameplay, though? Like, is it like...
I would say it helps with my game. I wouldn't say it's like, you're going to go from amateur to pro getting these products. But I will say overall, I think it will help in general just to get a better, comfortable feel of everything in your space. And then over time, obviously, you're going to have to be putting in the work and, obviously meeting your goals and, just being better overall as time goes on.
So as a pro, how many hours would you say when you were like hardcore in it, practicing with the team, trying to get into invitationals, all that stuff, like how many hours a week did you spend sitting down and playing this game with them? Or in general?
Roughly, I would say in general, gaming, like playing professional, and then obviously, streaming on the side and all that, I would say you're looking at 100+ hours a week. So that's more than a regular job. And some people don't even realize that, gaming is actually a job. And then they're like, oh, you just sit at a screen and this and that all day. But I mean, you're doing more than a weekly job. You're doing 100+ hours a week. So it's really taxing on you, but at the same time, it's a job, and you have to treat it like a job. If you aren't going to treat it like a job, I can tell you won't be successful in it. If you're just going to treat it as it's half-ass or something that's not, then I just don't think that it'll be for you then, because once you actually really get into it and it actually starts to potentially become a career, you're going to have to treat it like a career. Because I can tell you right now, my passion has always been gaming, and my goal growing up watching Halo players and playing Halo was I always wanted to be a professional gamer. And now that I'm actually a pro, I will tell you there's obviously, and I don't want to deter anyone.
It's not as glitz and glam as you think.
But yeah, exactly. It's not everything that it's made out to be. It's really taxing on you. There's that saying out there, find something you love and make that your job. It'll never feel like it's a job. That's a lie. It is 100% a lie. But with that being said, I am very thankful that I am in a pro scene and that this can be my career or is my career at that, and that it does make me money. It does provide, a living. So with everything to go with that, it's just, you know, understand when you do get into the depth with esports and all that, you will have to treat it like a career at the end of the day, and it will become your career, and it will be taxing, but at the end of the day,
Worth it.
it all comes down to a mindset and how you're going to treat things and how you're going to go about it. That's really going to define, you know, everything as a whole in your job.
So when you travel to LAN, besides like, you know, practicing with the team and doing all the being mindset ready, do you guys party it out? Like, I would think it would be a wild, like all the pros get together and just get crazy drunk and.
Yeah, that's actually, so yeah, that's pretty much what happens. It's serious. It's serious, but then
But work hard,
obviously,
play hard. I feel like it's a
right.
thing.
And then, you know, then there's the downtime where you are chilling, you are going out for beers. I think there is tension within the pro community, but I think when everyone's together, you know, there's not that tension that's there. Maybe with some people and some teams, but for the most part, everyone's pretty relaxed, everyone's pretty chill, everyone's drinking, everyone's going out, everyone's doing this. So it's really fun to be a part of and to like experience those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff that goes on outside of the esports end with pros that I don't want to get too into depth on stuff, but yeah, I mean, we have fun. A lot of us have fun and do stuff. It's not just we're just fucking gaming all day and that's it. No, a lot of us go out and have fun and do stuff.
I would love to just be at one of those, like, just sitting down at the bar and just see like this big group of like nerdy gamers walk in and just go ham. Like, it would probably be awesome.
Some of the, let me tell you right now, some of the pros in this community aren't the faces that you see. I'll tell you that right now. You actually meet them in person.
Oh, I'm sure.
The gaming is nothing anymore at that point. Wouldn't expect.
I'm sure. Is there any like unexpected like person that you play with pro league wise that you play with all the time that you got to be really good friends that you didn't expect, like at LAN or whatever?
I mean, no.
I'm not going to ask about the negative side of things, more of the positive end of things.
No. I mean,
who's the biggest asshole?
Yeah, no, it's just an experience by itself. Like the friendships that you make through, you know, pro gaming and
well, there's that camaraderie. You guys know know what each other's going through.
I can tell you right now, you know, yeah, and you know, Troy's a big person on this one. Like the trash talk that goes on, like I love it. I live for that shit. Like,
right.
And some people in the community and sees, like, I'm not trying to talk about some of the community, but some of the community is like really sensitive about it. But like you have to understand, like it is a competitive nature, and in a lot of competitive natures, there's a lot of trash talking, there's a lot of banter, there's a lot of beef. But at the end of the day, you know, it's all in good fun. Like I don't think anyone actually means what they're saying. And obviously, you know, there's a fine line to like where you're gonna bring it. And obviously no one has necessarily brought it over or across the line to make it be like, you know, you're just a piece of shit at that point. But I love banter, I love beef. It just makes games more exciting when you know both teams have a rivalry, they're both shit talking each other, they're both teabagging each other in the match. Like it just makes it even more exciting. It makes like every kill like more intensified. It makes just everything more intense, and I love it. So I just, like I said, just that, and then, you know, meeting everyone and having relationships with everyone. I would say, at least in my end, that I have, like, some people had their views on me and I had views on them, and time we do, and then over time it's just like spawn friendships.
Right. So we got 2 questions from the community. One of them is, and you don't have to go in depth on this, you can just say I prefer not to, but Tom Croft wants to know, I've always wondered, does it pay as well as a traditional job?
So where Siege is at right now, it's obviously a game that's still growing. You know, they haven't had a Siege or Rainbow since 2008. You know, this is their first thing after Vegas that it's, you know, it's been all these years. So it's still growing. It's getting to a point where, you know, it will 100% be a living. It will be like a CSGO or a Call of Duty where, you know, you're making a good amount of money even if you aren't winning tournaments. Kind of where it's at right now, like Penta, for example, like they have 100% made, you know, a good portion of a living winning their tournaments and then off their salary, because the game used to be nothing. It used to be you were just winning tournaments, there was no salary, it was like there was no return. So if you weren't winning, there was nothing. At least now where it's at, it's growing, so there are salaries. There's a bigger prize pool. You know, so as time goes on, this game will 100%. And you know, it could happen, you know, in a year, couple months, whatever. It's whenever Ubisoft really officially, you know, puts their foot down and like, all right, you know, we're gonna require that every player makes 60K a year. Like that's the salary that they have to be fixed on, because there's nothing implemented yet. There's talks of it, but nothing has been implemented. So as of right now, no, Siege isn't necessarily something that, you know, we're buying houses on, that we're just living on our, you know, it's still a process, but it's still somewhat livable, but it's not nothing, you know, that's making 60K a year right now.
Well, I think a lot of people have found success via Twitch, which has gotten huge over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
And that's been awesome for a lot of pro league players who want this to be their living and need this to kind of be their living. Twitch has kind of been that pillow
Twitch
for
definitely, that's just another source of income, and you know, with Siege growing, like I said, that's also going to grow your following and
exposure.
As a player. Yeah, exactly. So that definitely helps with the added salary and then the added Twitch revenue and then donations and, you know, whatever comes with that.
All right. So Brian wants to know, and I think you'll be interested in this because you are a personal trainer as well. He wants to know, how do you balance health and gaming?
So me personally, I don't think a lot of the pro side really involves themselves in like, I don't want to say they aren't healthy, but I'm talking about like in exercising to like an extent, or at least, you know, just getting out and exercising. For me, I just find it, you know, granted, like I said, you know, you're putting all these hours in, so you have to make time, and my time when I go do this stuff is 12 at night, 1 in the morning, that I'll go to the gym and do all that, and, you know, at least stay fit and try to maintain myself, because, you know, you, like I said, you have to treat it like any other job, and with, you know, anything in life, you should try to be, you know, healthy. Right. It just helps overall. It makes you feel better. It, you know, it just makes your brain work better, function better when you're putting the right foods in and working out. You know, there's nothing negative that comes from being healthy. Right. That's why doctors tell you to be healthy. That's why they tell you to, you know,
Nurses
whatever. I'm not telling you I don't indulge myself. I'm not telling you I don't indulge myself in unhealthy stuff and stuff like that. But for the most part, I try to maintain healthy. I try to eat good. I try to, you know, my sleep schedule's fucked. So let me not even try to be like, you know, you need sleep, because my sleep schedule's terrible. But, you know, it's just,
that's why you have monsters.
You have to find balance. Yeah, you have to find balance regardless of, you know, matter what you're doing. It just makes everything easier down the road, so that way you aren't dealing with health issues while you're trying to play games and do all that stuff like that. So for me, that's kind of how I do it. I obviously make time for it. It's not the most ideal time, but it's a time that works for me given my schedule. So
I always joke that I play I work out so that I can play video games and eat cheese. That's the only reasons. It kind of evens itself out a little bit.
So I would definitely recommend to people, is like, when you are in gaming, I would try to, like, you know, do something, like get out sometimes, because I'll tell you right now, my social life has been sacrificed because of gaming, and you know, you have to make sacrifices in life in order to, you know, be successful to a certain extent. I'm not saying you just completely throw your life away and focus on gaming, but, you know, obviously with everything in life, you do have to there is sacrifices that you will make.
But I mean, just, you know, I think if you have friends in your personal life, like I know your girlfriend's a Twitch streamer, so she plays a lot, and so she kind of understands that you learn to add people into your life that understand that lifestyle and get it.
You learn to balance everything and kind of get an understanding of how things will work. And like I said, you know, obviously don't throw everything out the window and just be like, all right, I'm focusing on gaming, because that's not healthy. It's not healthy one bit. If I was doing that, I can tell you right now, my life would be miserable, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today, or the person that I am today. Like, you have to find balance with everything that you do in life to just make it easier for you.
I just think it's so interesting that a lot of these gamers are really young. Like, you know, you're pretty young, and most of them are early 20s, you know, so, and they found success in this one thing that has made them a pretty decent, at least a well-known name within the community and within gaming, and I've gotten these really amazing offers and travel and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I never thought that I'd be traveling, you know, all these places around the world for gaming. So it's definitely an experience of its
Where's the
own
coolest
that
place you've gone for gaming?
Coolest place I've gone.
funnest
Probably Gamescom,
place.
Germany.
Germany, really?
Probably Germany, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, like, Gamescom, it was cool. Like, it was definitely an experience of its own. Like, you're at a venue with, like, 300,000 people. The only downside to that is in most European places, they don't have, well, in most places in Europe, they don't have AC. So, when you're in a facility, a venue with 300,000 people, I'm pretty sure without me getting too grotesque on it, you can kind of imagine what it would be like. Like, it's cool
The
for like
smells.
sight-wise, like the visual experience of it was awesome, like without a doubt. But I can tell you the smell wasn't necessarily the best that I've had. But yeah, Gamescom was definitely for me like the most exciting.
Do you guys have to buy those tickets, or do those get like?
No, I can tell you right now, if I had to buy those tickets, I wouldn't be doing this.
Right, I'm saying those are
I
expensive
hate
as
flying
hell.
as it is.
Do
I hate
you?
flying as it is. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I don't mind like a 2-hour flight, but like when I'm flying, you know, 9 hours, 10 hours,
Right.
11 hours, it is just like, and I get the worst luck. I don't know about other people. I'm sure other people don't have my experiences, or people do, but like I always get a baby that's crying like, the entire trip.
The
And,
fat
you know, I
guy
love
sitting next to
the-
you.
Yeah, or I get like it was we were in the exit row, so extra leg room, which was great. But this dude was just fucking huge, and like without him naturally, like, and I didn't care, like without him naturally, you know, like just him naturally resting there, his arms were just like already like pressed up against mine. I'm just like, fuck. So I deal with that shit. I deal with baby crying. I deal with people that are sick, and every time I get back from LAN or I go to LAN, I always get sick. So it's just like
That's a
it's-
flying thing, because if you think about it, it's a big tin incubator of bacteria and viruses. Like, that's all that
Yeah,
is.
I can tell you it's a constant change every time I go to a plane, that I always prepare myself. Like now it's 100% sanitizer 24/7 that I am just popping that shit.
And
into
you're
my
going
hands.
to a place like where you live now, you're used to the bacteria that you're around all the time, and you build up antibodies against it, and then you go like across the country and you're with a bunch of new people.
I'm drinking those emergencies before I get on the plane. I'm making sure that there's no possible way I'm getting sick, because there's nothing like being sick and you're not at home. It is the worst.
Right. Oh God, yeah. So Tom asks another random question: do you have a routine to prepare yourself for scrims or matches? For example, would you go into a T-hunt to warm up your aim? Do you listen to music to focus? I sometimes struggle to get myself focused and in the zone when playing.
Yeah, so when it comes to scrimming, it's kind of just like, you know, I'll stream or something like before. Like
It's just like
scrimming is kind of like,
practice.
yeah, scrim is practice. So you don't really have to go like super hard, because like what scrimming should be is it's you and your team trying new stuff out and seeing if it works for the future.
You're getting
So
weird.
it shouldn't be treated, yeah, it shouldn't be, you shouldn't treat necessarily scrims as like, you know, a complete sweat fest. You have to like treat it like a Pro League match. Like that's the last thing I want to do, is treat anything like a Pro League match other than Pro League. But my usual routines, like for a Pro League match or anything like that, is, you know, I'll listen to music, I'll do some push-ups before I work out. My biggest one is, you know, excuse me, but I take a shit.
I gotta clean it all out. I understand.
Exactly. Clean
Get all the
myself
dirt out.
and, you know, and then I just zone in and I just get focused, and then just kind of go from there. That's my routine. I would recommend maybe doing push-ups or something that gets the blood flowing into your
Adrenaline.
arms and hands, just so your hands are already warm and they're already like, you know, there's nothing like playing. Every gamer can relate to playing with cold hands. It's by far the worst. It just feels
Right.
like the reaction time from your brain, you know, indicating to move that muscle or ligament and whatever just is 10 times slower. So if you can do anything to like warm up your body, I would recommend doing that.
That's the way to go. All right, so last question, because it's been about an hour, so I don't want to waste any more of your time. So last question, your very first LAN, when you're up on that big, huge white stage, and you have all these people screaming in front of you, and you know that
Yeah.
there's thousands. How were you feeling? Was that terrifying?
So, no.
Really?
No, I'll tell you. So the first time at that event, you know, it was already like, you know, when you first played Pro League, the first time when it first ever got aired, you know, you saw on Twitch that there was like 2,000, 3,000 people watching. That was like, you know, oh my god, you know,
Right.
it, you know, sick. Like that's awesome. So like you want to kind of perform. Like everyone treats it differently. For me, I see that as like I'm gonna feed off that. Like I want the attention. I want people to know who I am. I want people to
Right.
see the plays or the player that I am and like really capitalize on that. So when I'm in front of a crowd, I love playing in front of a crowd. Like that's the biggest thing for me.
Oh, I think the video is skipping. We might be having technical difficulties. Let me see what's happening. Let's see if the computer decides to come back. Might have to restart and see. Oh no! You there? Hello? I don't know if it's on his part or my part. Oh. All right, we are not leaving just yet. Let me see if I can get him back. Must have been on his part, because... Let's see. Oh no. Let's see, he might come back. La la la. Some technical difficulties. Well, I'll play a really funny quick clip until I can get Laxing back, and we'll see what happens there.
Play the game. Play the game.
I can't breathe. Just play this, guys. No, guys, chill. Chill. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, I think I got him back. All right, we're back. Okay,
Okay.
sorry about that.
So, do you know where it stopped so I could like try to pick up back up on that?
That you were feeding off of.
Okay, so yeah, so when I am playing in front of a crowd, I feed off that because I like the reaction that people get. Like, granted, if people have favorites or not, like everyone's always gonna react at the event, no matter what team it is. If they do a sick play or whatever, like everyone's gonna react, and I personally love that. Like I feed off that, so that makes me just want to perform. It just makes me want to do good, and just that's me. A lot of people, there are some people out there for their first times, like they're really nervous and all that, but like for me, and I'm pretty sure you can already tell just by talking to me or meeting me,
chill.
Is that I'm chill and I'm very open. Like I'm not scared, I'm not nervous, I'm not shy. So like that added with all that and then being in front of a crowd just like hypes me up more than anything.
I think it would terrify me. Like I've seen a lot of, not even just in Siege, but in other games that have gotten really big recently, and those pro players have gone in there, and you see them play like on their stream, and they're like the best at the game, and then they go into a bigger arena and they just biff it hard. Like,
It happens.
yeah. And it's been surprising to watch some of them where you're just like, dude, you're like the best. What the fuck are you doing right now? And it's just, I think it's just, they got to get that mindset. And
yeah, it's, like I
some
said,
people are made for it.
It's definitely a mindset, yeah.
Well, I wanted to thank you so much for sitting down and talking with all of us, and we really appreciate it. I'm sure that there will be some questions once other people get the chance to watch this. So you are now in the community. So if you want to answer them back or whatever, make sure you catch Laxing's stream. I went ahead and put a link up to it at the top of this video. So catch his stream, show him some love, tell him you're from the community, and just a huge announcement. We have a couple of other really big Pro League players that are being a part of this too. So we have been listening to you guys, and we have got, so far we've got Fabian, we've got Shati, we've got Zoronic, who is a analyst, and the big one, we have Pengu from Penta. So we are waiting till after finals to get all of those scheduled out, but there are some really big stuff coming up. So make sure you watch finals, get some questions together, and we will see you guys in the next interview. And thank you again, Laxing.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.